3 months ago, I set up SOLTECH grow lights, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my honest review. Hey everybody, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. You've heard me say it, the proof is in the pudding. So I don't want to just talk about these lights in theory, I want to show you the setup, the progress, and then the end result. So let's take it back to 3 months ago. I'm not getting much natural light in this far corner of the living room. So I've got the big west-facing windows basically facing me right now. But because I have 3-4 big poles right in front of the window, they kind of take up all of the light. I then have my TV right there. Why don't I just show you? As you can see, so this is the big west-facing window. So all of these plants get nice light. Then I've got the TV over here as a bit of a room divider almost. And then this is the living area that I'm talking about. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that this area is not getting enough natural light for me to actually have plants here, but it makes me really unhappy having almost like half of the living area completely plant free. So yeah, now the other thing is, like, normally, you know, I like to use my grow lights, like the vertical grow lights that kind of just shine from the front, and I really like that because it makes the leaf face the front, which is, you know, basically creates a nice display side. But I can't really do that because if I would want to have like a plant here and here and here, basically the lights, or like if the light source would come from the front, the lights would literally need to be right here. So in the middle of my living room and basically between my couch and the TV, which is probably not really a good option if I ever want to watch TV. So I need to have light sources coming from above. Now, SOLTECH is a company I have heard about heaps online. I've seen a lot of people using it. It's an American company, and I've heard really good things about it from American growers. Now, they reached out to me, thank you so much for reaching out, and they asked me if I would like to test some of their products. Now, I was sent those for free, and they just said, you know, no strings attached, we just want you to test them and give your honest review, and if you like it, then I can contact them and we can maybe work out like a discount code for you guys. So, oops. So they honestly just arrived today, so I haven't tested them out, and you guys know how I feel about recommending things to you. I'm gonna test things thoroughly before I'll recommend them to you. Oh my God, why are you so cute? It's because you're waiting for dinner, right? Dinner isn't till 5 though, you 1 more hour. You wanna come up here so everybody can see you? Come on, we'll put you here so you can help me unboxing, yeah? Yeah, small boxes. All right, so I was sent 2 things. So the first one is the VITA light, and it's basically a light bulb, and it will work nice with that big IKEA Hector, I think it's called Hector, with that big light that is currently in the garage. So I just need to get that out of the garage, but I feel like that could just live here or here. That can live anywhere, and you can also point that quite nicely. So I believe I got the wide beam angle. So there's a wide beam and there's a narrow beam. So wide beam obviously is gonna just illuminate a larger surface, but it won't be quite as strong. Narrow beam will just be more pointy and will be a little bit stronger. Given that most of my plants are quite tall, the top of the plant will probably be quite close to the light. So I decided to go for the wide beam one. So it spreads a little more, but it's not too harsh on whatever is going to face the top. Anyway, second one is called Aspect, and Aspect is basically like a little standalone hanging light. So you don't need a light fixture, it's the light and the light fixture, all you need is a plug. I think they come in large and small. This one is the large. So basically the idea is that I'm just gonna hang this from somewhere, and then it's gonna create like a little island of light. Then it's gonna create like a little island of light that I can put a lot of plants under. Comes with some clips as well. I haven't 100% thought about the setup. Oh, and an Australian plug. Now I also received this, what do you call that one? Aceto? Aceto. Well, it's made in Italy, so it's probably aceto. It is basically like a an arm. So I could put this on the wall and then have the cable running through here and then have the, what is it called again? And then have the aspect light hanging off of here. So I could put it here and then I have the aspect hanging here. I am not ready to mount it anywhere, but I just wanted to open up all of the products and take you along. We are back. It's been a while, but I managed to set up both of the SOLTECH lights. So I just wanted to show you where they are and kind of position the plants around it. And ultimately the proof is in the pudding. So setting them up isn't enough. They need to be set up and they need to actually be used for a while until I can give you my ultimate feedback. But cutie. But while setting them up, what I have noticed already is that they're very, very beautiful. So I'm very happy. So if Brettles lets me go, I'll give you a bit of a tour. Brettles, the couch is swallowing you. Okay. Alrighty, so I have set up my two SOLTECH lights. So I've had the hanging one and I've got the one that you can just screw into the lamp. So the one that you can screw into the lamp, I just put in here and I already done that like a month ago or so. If you've seen my previous video of like my full day of plant care, it's a really long one, so I don't blame you if you haven't watched all of it. But in that video, I set up the grow light and I replaced my previous IKEA grow light in there, and I much prefer this one just purely visually because it is a much warmer color and the shadows are just true to nature, I suppose. I'll insert that little clip from that video where I kind of show you the difference. Oh, that looks good though. Okay, stay where you are. So this is the SOLTECH light. One moment. This is the light that I previously used, which is from IKEA, and I mean the difference is huge. First of all, look at these shadows on the wall. Can you see how the shadows are like multicolored? I hate it. It drives me insane how the shadows it's like a weird effect. Yeah. Oh my god, the camera actually makes it look. No, actually, it's pretty accurate. It drives me insane. I hate it. I hate it, and the light is way too light. Ta-da. So nice and warm, normal shadows, you know, doesn't drive me insane. Beautiful. I love that so much more. All right, so this has been here and obviously it points towards the Monstera over here. And since I switched to the SOLTECH light, it has already given me one new leaf over here. You can see based on the fenestrations, it is definitely continuously increasing in maturity. I think this leaf has a bit of inflating to do, so that's not its full size, but given that this is winter growth, I'm really, really happy with that. Alright, and let me show you what it looks like when it's on. Hey Google, turn on SOLTECH light. Beautiful, here we go. So I think it's just so beautiful, really nice and warm. I don't know, it might be flickering on camera right now. It's not flickering in real life. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's based on the frame rate, but I think I might have found the trick that if I film on 60 frames per second, it doesn't flicker, but I suppose I'll find out in post. But I'm really, really happy with it. It kind of looks like it's sunset in that corner of the apartment at all times, despite the fact that this is probably one of the darkest corners that I've got. So basically SOLTECH helped me unlock that corner for more plants, and ultimately the goal is to have every corner of the apartment filled with plants. So that was the screw-in one, and I suppose that was the easier one of the two to set up because I already had the light and I just really replaced the light bulb in it with a nicer looking one, and hopefully also a one that works even better. The other one was the hanging one, and let me show you what I've done with that. Alrighty, and the hanging one is hanging right over here now. So I used the like the arm that came with it and I screwed it into the wall, and I was lucky because I'm renting, I can't actually put any holes in the walls, but there was already some holes in the wall over here because there used to be a big mirror that was hanging here, and obviously with a mirror you need a lot of holes because they're heavy. So I just utilized the existing holes and I put the aspect light over here, and I think it looks really, really nice, really unintrusive. And what you could also technically do, I've seen people do that, seen people connect like a string and then kind of just like tilt it either way if you want to, but I just want to have it coming straight down. which then enables me to actually fill this shelf with plants. While we're much closer to my west-facing window now, all of these poles in front of me, they're really absorbing all of the light. And the bigger these poles grow and the larger the leaves get, the less light actually comes through over here. So before, I really had some plants that were tolerant to very low light conditions, and every now and then I just pop them outside so they get a little bit more light. But obviously now with that consistency in light exposure, I'm able to put way more plants over here, and that's what I want to do with you today. I want to kind of set it up, just find a few plants that kind of work with this. Blim. Okay, one consideration or one candidate for this area would be my banana, but actually, yeah, no, it's too big. I could maybe put the banana down here. I can't really see it, right? Right, so I just get a little table. Not a big fan. Anyway, it's still a little lost, but I think it's gonna really love the light. So I'm gonna keep it here just for the sake of the experiment. Just at least for the next month or so. Whether this is going to be its forever spot, I doubt it, but we'll see. Alrighty, next plant, this is my Ring of Fire. And that one I want to put at the very end, so it also hides the cable a little bit. I reckon this is going to be quite nice. Another plant, and I've had so little success with this. I've had this plant for 1 year, and it's grown 1 leaf. So guys, honestly, not all of my plants are thriving. I don't even know the name of it anymore. I've spoken about it that little, but I'll pop it here because I think it's also going to be nice, growing lush. And over here, I've got a Pictum tricolor. Now, I'm not super happy with the variegation. It's a tissue cultured one, and it's not the prettiest, but it's flowering, so it was happy before. But I reckon if I give it more light, it will bring out that proper tree color a little bit better. So I'll pop that here. Alrighty, and then the other 2 plants, those were the ones that were already here. So 2 of my Scindapsus. And I know they can tolerate low light much better. So I'll put them kind of on that second shelf. Brett also loves to lie here, so I don't want to destroy that spot, so I'll just move that through and this one in here. Now, last thing, sometimes your alocasias can go dormant over winter. Not a big problem at all. That is actually natural for these, and they usually come back stronger than ever. So obviously just when they're dormant, just really scale back on the watering, or like I'm not going to water at all. Like what am I going to water? There's nothing to absorb or use the water, so why would I be watering? Keep it warm and keep it somewhere bright, and then it will reshoot. So I think it's not really that nice looking at the moment, so I don't want to give it a prime spot, but I should be able to slide that in. So all I've done is I was just sliding it in here. You can see it still gets some decent light, obviously a bit blocked by the Ring of Fire over here, but this is going to be enough light for it to just eventually be triggered to come back to life. And then when it starts growing leaves, obviously it's going to have room limitations anyway, and then I'll move it somewhere else. But just for now, hiding like an ugly plant, but still giving it conditions that will enable it to come back. In theory, proof is in the pudding. Alrighty, I'm happy with the shelf setup. I feel like the banana is definitely not going to stay there for its whole life, but I just thought it would be good to add another plant in there just to see how the plant copes with the new light conditions. You know, the more plants, the merrier, isn't it? So yeah, I also connected both of them to like a smart socket. So they turn on by themselves every morning at 7, and they're going to turn off every night at 7 by themselves as well. So low fuss, and I'm pretty happy being able to plantify this little corner. Again, this part of the shelf I'll keep empty because that's Brett's new favorite spot. He loves lying on here when he's not busy cuddling the blankie. Alrighty, again, proof is in the pudding, so I'll see you in a couple of months with some results. Changed my mind. Okay, I did not like the banana there. This, however, is like a little mixed pot of my seedlings. You can see it's been suffering a little bit. It just wasn't really getting the attention. It wasn't getting enough light, and I think it's also a bit cold. It was in the office, and it was very close to the window. I think it didn't really like the cold. The pot feels really cold as well. So I've got little seedlings over there. Let's see if there's going to be enough light for it, but I suppose it's not really happy where it is right now, so I've got nothing to lose. And that's it. All right, now I'm going to see you when the proof is in the pudding. So I'll see you when I see you. Alrighty, and here we are. It has been about 3.5 months since I received them, and the grow lights themselves have been in place for around about 3 months-ish. So I think I have experienced, I think I've seen enough growth for me to pass on my recommendation, but I also want to show you what happened. So let's look into it, and let's start with the VITA grow light first. Alright, so the VITA grow light over here. And I've spoken about the Monstera in the previous update. Just wanted to show you that it has grown yet another leaf over here, which is very nice, great variegation. And look at all of this root growth on top of that. So the VITA grow light comes with a 3-year warranty, and it's made out of aluminium, however you want to pronounce that. And yeah, it's really good quality. I really love the light that it gives up. I think it looks a little brighter on camera at the moment than it looks in real life, but it basically looks like it's a forever sunset in the darkest corner of my apartment. That plant would not grow without it. At this time of the year, the sun is way too low and sets way too early for any light to hit that corner. So really, really love that. And if you have an existing lampshade that fits the E27 fitting, I think this is a great purchase. Right, let's have a look at the other grow light, the Aspect. Alrighty, here we've got the Aspect grow light on that light fitting. The Aspect is also made out of aluminium or aluminum, and it's made in the US. So supposedly a very high quality product. And it comes with a 5-year warranty and a 15-year lifespan if you use it 16 hours a day. Now, I personally don't use it for 16 hours a day. They're just on, both of them are on for 12 hours a day, turn on at 7 and turn off at 7 in the night. And that's mainly because it's also my living room. So from 7 o'clock, you know, I might want to use my couch to watch TV and so on. So I don't necessarily want to have all too many bright lights around me. But it seems to be sufficient, and I just have it on a smart socket that turns on and off. But let's have a look at some of the growth over here. And let's maybe start with this one. So this is Alocasia Jacqueline, and remember that was completely dormant about 2 months ago when I set it up. So the SOLTECH light definitely woke her up from dormancy. Very, very happy about this. I absolutely love this plant, and I can't wait for it to thrive again. Brittles, your positioning down there is very inconvenient. I actually wanted to sit on this chair, you know? Okay, you don't care. Okay, he's just down here in case you can't. I don't think you can see him. Hang on. There he is. Hello, my baby. Alrighty, let's move on. Then we've got my pot of seedlings over here. Is this focusing? And they have definitely grown. Look at this. There's some nice big leaves that are being pushed out now. So it's definitely happier than it's ever been. So yeah, happy days. So, and I'm just taking them all out because it's kind of hard to show you over there because the light is so bright. Okay, here we've got my Philodendron Ring of Fire. Probably better even if I show you this way. I don't know. So it has grown this leaf as well as this leaf, and it is pushing out a new leaf right here in the middle at the moment. And if we come a bit closer, you can see it's really starting to climb up its moss pole. There's lots of roots going into the potting mix. So, you know, root growth is also a sign of the plant being happy. It's not just about counting leaves, it's also about root growth, because root growth really sets the potential for new leaves. So very, very happy with that. That's his favorite spot over here usually. He likes to... What are you doing? Yes, that's the camera. Jump, jump. You got this. Good boy. At nighttime he likes to lie here and then watch the telly with me. Super cute. Alrighty, this is my Aglaonema pictum tricolor. Now, at the beginning, the light was hanging a little lower, and you can see that some of these older leaves have gotten really sun-stressed. So there was too much light for it. The new leaves, however, are looking really good, and it's bringing out some nice color. So what that means really is that it's not too much light for this plant in general. It was just too much light for this specimen. That specimen lived in my bathroom before and was getting a very, very not so bright indirect light. So I'm not surprised that it had a bit of a harder time adjusting to the higher light levels. But I'm hoping that the new leaves will, be used to it because they're growing up in those conditions, and that the increased light will bring out some nicer patterns in the leaves. So I'm still going to give it a shot, but if I notice the new leaves also starting to go a little sun stressed, then I'll move it away. All right, next one, we've got the Scindapsus silverlighty, and I mean, it's kind of hard to assess how much it has grown or how much it hasn't grown because it's kind of just so lush, but I see new leaves unfurling all the time. I'm really happy with that. And also really importantly, it's less work for me. I used to have to take this outside on a nice sunny day so it gets any sort of light, so now it can just stay here and I don't have to move it. Alright, now this is the, I can never pronounce it, I'll put it on screen. That has definitely grown. I don't think it's ever been that lush, and I mean you see all of these new leaves unfurling down here and here and here and here. So it is loving the kind of bright indirect light being on that second shelf. And again, I don't have to move this in and out anymore. I mean, plants don't like all too much change as well. So I'm loving this, and I think it fills this spot so nicely. And it's going to be really cool kind of spilling out from all ends. So overall, great success with both of them. That's where I would love to end the video. But a few people of you have requested for me to do a light meter reading. And if you've watched my previous video about light, you know how I feel about light meter readings. To me, that makes the hobby a little bit too scientific. I mean, proof is in the pudding. These plants are growing, so whatever the light meter says is really not important. I know that whatever light they're receiving right now is sufficient, but I can understand that for you guys, you might want to have a light meter reading just so you know whether you're in the right ballpark. So let me give you a light meter reading, but I have nothing else to say about it, so I'll just leave you with the actual reading. Alrighty, so I've got an app called Photone because I'm trying to make a PPFD meter reading, because PPFD basically measures PAR, which is photosynthetic active range. So basically we're measuring plant based on the plant's perception of light, not the human perception of light. Lumen, lux, they all measure human perception of light, which is kind of useless when we're trying to apply it to plants. Now, I don't know if this app is good, but I did some in-app purchases to even select what type of light source I've got. So I've selected full spectrum LED because that's what both of those are. It also asked me to build a diffuser, and it just says to build it using like a piece of paper and then stripping it around your phone. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. I don't have paper, but I found this sticker. So I'm hoping that is kind of similar. It's kind of like a see-through paper sticker, if that makes sense. So again, those are the little things where I'm just like, even the meter in itself that you use can be so different. So just take these readings with a grain of salt. Let me do a reading for the SOLTECH lights, and then I'll do a reading for these plants over here that are facing the window, so we get somewhat of a reference point. So, okay, let's take this leaf over here. It's 55 with the diffuser on. Okay, without the diffuser it's only 11, so the diffuser must be working. So we do diffuser then, yeah? Oh, you couldn't even see me. Oh, I think you did see me. Okay, all right, at the very top where the top leaf is, we're at over 2000. Down here where the Aglaonema is, we're at 300. The seedling is at 55. And the Scindapsus over here is at 31. So the reading ranged from 2000 up here to 31 down here, but still both plants are growing. So, all right, let's do one reference, one over here. So we've got all of these plants, they're all just relying on natural light. Okay, 25, 26. If I hold it straight against the window, then we've got 80. Alrighty, there you go for the ones that asked for light meter reading. This is the light meter reading. If that helps, I hope it helps. In my personal opinion, that was of absolutely no help. But, you know, I gave you both. I gave you the pudding and I gave you the reading. So I hope everybody's happy. SOLTECH, thank you again for sponsoring these grow lights. And I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye.